Thank you for joining me at this session today. My name is Jennifer Salzwedel, and I am the Senior Director of Marketing Operations Enablement at Poly. And I'm going to share with you the ways that Poly Marketing has solved the do more with less challenge. A little bit about Poly. We came together as Plantronics and Polycom just about 2 years ago. We are a global company headquartered in Santa Cruz, California, and we have about 200 marketers globally. We make professional grade premium audio and video solutions, of which you are seeing and hearing me on right now, to connect people with incredible clarity. We enable the work from anywhere motion that's happening right now, and 100% of Fortune 500 companies rely on Poly products and services. A fun fact about our legacy is that Neil Armstrong spoke his famous words from the moon mission over a Plantronics headset. So I run our marketing operations function, and that includes our content operation, our marketing performance and investment operations, our MarTech practice, our marketing automation practice, as well as our lead development program. And I like to think about marketing operations and enablement in the space of being mission control of a space mission, where our marketers are the astronauts, we are the mission control, and of course our processes are the spaceships. There was a critical moment in the Apollo 13 mission where the mission control team really needed to help the astronauts get home safely. And so there was a part of the mission where they had to take what was on board the spaceship and help the astronauts solve a very critical situation to help them get home. So this idea of fitting a square peg in a round hole really speaks to me in how we're doing more with less. Sometimes we're limited in what we have access to, and we have to push things forward. As well, there are times where it doesn't matter how much we are planning or practicing for a mission, opportunities fly in, and the MOPS team is really the team that helps to troubleshoot when things need immediate attention. So when the two companies came together, we spent a significant amount of time rationalizing our MarTech stack, and that led to our very first visualization of our stack, which we affectionately call Polyverse. We really wanted to make sure that the customer experience was at the center of our rationalization in making sure that we were creating customer journeys and experiences in a digital way that would be meaningful to them. And so this is how we organized our MarTech stack, and we are honored to say that we were a Stacky Award winner at the MarTech conference last year. And you'll see a lot of familiar solution names. We also wanted to give context to the level of investment for each of these solutions. And we started with about 150 solutions, many of which we had the same solution for both companies. However, when we looked under the hood, we realized that we had pretty different process in how we were driving those solutions. We also had several situations where each company had a best-in-class solution, but they were different. So we needed to have the bake-offs to decide what would be right for Poly moving forward. And then there were scenarios where some of the technology was only used by one or the two companies, but it did some pretty cool stuff, and we wanted to include it in our stack. So starting from the technology lens and knowing that we had a lot of best-in-class solutions, we wanted to build a foundation to be successful. And one of the main things that we did out the gate was to develop a taxonomy foundation for how we wanted to describe marketing contributions to the business, as well as the work that we do in organizing it in a way where we could report on it, where it would be meaningful to extended key stakeholders. Today, I'm going to focus on two of our key systems, Adobe Workfront and Allocadia. Adobe Workfront enables us to see all of our creative development work in one place. We measured it against the priorities and key initiatives for the company so that we can report on those programs and where we're at in delivering against what we're being asked to do. Allocadia is where we have full transparency and visibility into the global marketing investment and roll-up views that are very convenient for finance to understand where we sit at any moment in time. So how did we get to that foundational data component? We really took the perspective of developing these systems to truly be our systems of record. Workfront being for the marketing design and production services. We also have created automated workflows to support our PO desk. Marketing invests a decent amount of money, and we want to make sure that we can get POs open efficiently. We currently have integrations with Adobe DAM and SDL, our translation memory provider. And we also connect the two systems by managing vendor assignments when we have blanket POs open, and we can track those back and forth. Allocadia then is our system of record for our global marketing annual operating plan, which includes our plans, our committed expenses, the PO investments, the balances, and the actuals. Today we have Allocadia integrated with Oracle and Salesforce so that we can see the connections of our investments towards where we're tracking our returns. So this is just one example of the common taxonomy across systems. And it's a simple one, but meaningful to us in how we think about how we invest our money and the things that end up benefiting the global organization versus the things that are more a local benefit. And so the chart on the left illuminates where the investments are split by region, and then on the right you can see the related work or projects and how that relates global to theater. Process. So how do we get to the systems that help us be successful on our missions? And really, we like to think of these as the spaceships and the ways that are enabled. We also like to build our processes so that they are super nimble and flexible, because you can imagine with each launch, we learn new things and we want to apply those key learnings to the next thing that we do. So we make sure that our processes create business impact and are aligned to the care-abouts from our key stakeholders. So in a distributed global team structure that it seems to be ever evolving, we want to make sure that we're speaking a language and measuring our work against the things that matter to our key clients. We also want to make sure that we're connected to the growth opportunities in making sure that we can reflect back to sales the things that are important to them. Finance, of course, cares a lot about how we map back to our official finance systems of record, being Oracle and Hyperion. And we believe that a marketing investment is complex, and so we know that there are multi-dimensional attributes to be able to tag our expense against. As well, we want to be able to know where we stand against industry benchmarks, and so we study one example is the Gartner CMO Spend Survey every year to see how we track against other companies our size. And of course, we have a definition around what investment operations means to me, which includes roles and responsibilities for everyone who interacts in this system in a very cross-functional way. This is an example of how we are monitoring our trend spends, and then we're constantly keeping tabs on our progress against planned spend. So the chart on the left is illuminating to the teams all of the subcategories of our demand gen spend and where our current investments are sitting. And it gives us a chance to see, if we're super successful in a certain area, should we up our investment in that area? On the right side is the comparison of what we plan to do versus where we're at in that plan right now. And you can see in about a minute where we may have had to invest in certain areas a little bit more significantly, and you can see instantly where those trade-offs were made. This is another great example of how we had to adjust our strategy very quickly upon the pandemic to our events. In one quarter, we went from having a ton of live events that we participated in, a great vehicle for us in moving people through our funnel. And all of a sudden, we had to shift to webinars. And so we could see immediately in one quarter where those investments shifted towards webinars and virtual events. And then on the right side, that is the illumination of the optimized feature in Allocadia. And it's showing where the investments went in comparison to where we were seeing the best results according to our Salesforce campaign IDs. And of course, we wouldn't be successful at any of that without the people involved. And so we've put a lot of energy and effort into building trust and breaking down barriers so that our astronauts know and are confident that they're going to have successful missions. Transparency and visibility are critical. It is really important. There's a lot of fear and angst that goes into sharing plans, sharing financial details, and yet we have found that the benefits of doing that well outweigh the fears. We actually have budget managers that will offer up available funds if they're running under on something to other teams that then might want to go over because they want to invest more in something that's successful. And that's really led to a very positive cultural shift of seeing the marketing investment as a shared accountability across the global organization. And of course, I can't say enough about our relationships back with Workfront and Allocadia. We have amazing customer success teams that help us move our marketing maturity towards more mature practices in these areas. As well, they've really helped us connect the dots to other clients of theirs, other people that we can learn from who maybe are further along their maturity journey than we are. Or maybe we're both trying to tackle the same issue and it's great to get another set of perspectives from somebody who's trying to accomplish and solve for the same things. And that all has led to better conversations. We certainly have a better line to where our investments are directly connected to the results so we can fuel smarter decisions. We've been able to justify incremental investments in areas from the insights that we see from these systems. We're able to illuminate the things that our executives want to know, which are things like how much of our budget is already sunk at the beginning of the quarter due to sustaining rolling costs. How much of our working dollars do we actually have to work with when a new opportunity comes in? We've also developed some custom attribute flags. We have one that we call I don't know. So if someone doesn't actually know what to attribute their expense to, that flag will foster a conversation with the investment operations team so that we can help the team get to the right answers. And of course, finance always appreciates knowing what our sunk costs are at any given moment in time. The outcome of our mission. Of course, we build our systems out to be nimble and agile, to be able to pivot with every reorg. And we literally, upon an acquisition, had our new financial system up and running in less than 90 days, ready for the new AOP. We also have had several shifts in new objectives or new attributes that we want to pursue or measure ourselves against. And we've been able to build those out incredibly fast. We've been within 1% accuracy of our forecast to actual expenses very consistently quarter over quarter because it's become a dynamic, always-on system of record. We also can see across systems that last year we had a 60% increase in work, and yet we were spending less money in that area. So huge efficiencies when we are looking at automating. And I can tell you that we've done that yet again in our second year. Our latest launch also delivered a much larger scope, and we had to deliver at a much faster pace in our digitally transformed world. So 40% of our new product introduction products, which we call NPI, for the entire fiscal year went to this one single launch. And we could also see that we delivered 75% of the work within 6 weeks of the announcement, which is twice as fast as our normal pace. We also made a very small investment in our translation memory integration, and in the first quarter of rolling out that integration, we have cut our asset delivery in half. And so that's a significant gain in a very short period of time. So what's next? Well, since we've done such a decent job at delivering more with less, obviously there's a continued desire to keep doing that. So in Workfront, one of the ways we're going to do that is make sure that we're illuminating the priorities so that the team knows what to work on at exactly the right times. We also are pursuing additional integrations with the Workfront Fusion app and with Marketo to be able to build projects more seamlessly on the front end and deliver the work faster on the far end. And for Allocadia, spending a lot more time refining our definition of what demand gen means to our company and updating our taxonomy to even better connect the systems so that we're speaking a common language and able to report on them cross-functionally more effectively. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it.